So we created TAP to provide an alternative route or access for people in our community to become early childhood teachers or work with young children. Often our schools here do not have folks who are teaching that look like the children, and it can feel like you're just not part of the community. By advertising and getting folks for TAP only from our community, really focusing hard on that, we have created a pathway for people of any age over 18 who wish to consider working with early childhood and also consider how they themselves can be the best learners that they can be. TAP takes what would be called a non-traditional approach. We are not in a standard classroom. We do not work on tests or worksheets or anything else that you might see even in higher ed. We work from the same thing that we work from with kids, which is relationships. We build relationships first in our cohort, and we're together for 55 days for 3 hours a day. So we really learn about each other, we learn respect and trust for each other, and from that comes the openness to learn. Every voice is heard, everyone is deeply respected for their points of view, even when they are in contrast to each other. And we also play every day. We think about how our experiences as adults have a connection to how we're going to teach children. Most folks start TAP a little nervous, a little uncertain, not sure that they're going to be successful or that they're kind of in the right fit. And they leave TAP with what we call competence and confidence. They see themselves, they discover themselves as teachers, but they also discover themselves as leaders and friends to each other and in relationships with society and in a relationship with themselves. There's such a strengthening that happens in this process that was not part of the plan initially and has been one of the great joys and surprises of teaching TAP. I think the most important takeaway from TAP is the sense of confidence and competence that I can take on a challenge. I can take a challenge on and overcome barriers or things that I thought were immovable blocks in my life. That might be about early childhood, but that also might be about something totally else that's happening in your life. This program gives the tools to do that. It gives you the tools for yourself as well as the tools for teaching, because we see teaching as being yourself. To raise and create and help grow good teachers, we need to raise ourselves as important humans in our community. One of the important parts of day one is that we have a model school, and the model school is certainly to serve children, but it also is really there to help be a teaching place for the TAP interns, and to see practices in early childhood that are exemplary practices toward what early childhood teaching should look like.
I was so surprised by how empowered the adults became during the process. It was just a feeling of, wow, these adults are empowered now. These adults are coming away with a realization of how to change their worlds. And then we send them out into their different and varied communities, and they feel empowered to really make a change. I hope that we'll be changing the world for the better by creating classrooms that are community-based, hands-on learning, not scripted. So we want to empower young children and adults to create healthy communities together. The relationships that develop among the adults in the classroom, how we all come together with different backgrounds. What we want to create is a cohort that's sacred and safe and empowering, and so we have to be open to hearing whatever perspectives the adults in our class are bringing to the table. We really look at creating communities and classrooms that everybody can learn in. I want to see teachers in classrooms more reflective of the communities they are serving, which means empowering our Black and Latina families to become teachers. I'd like to see more men in early childhood because young boys really, really need wonderful role models. I believe this model can change communities all over the planet.